Rhamondre Stevenson is getting paid, but is it for too much and for too long? We'll examine here on Patscast.
Can't take pressure, tightening up my laces.
Welcome to Patscast. I'm Brad Whitaker. We have some breaking news. The New England Patriots and Rhamondre Stevenson have agreed to a 4-year, $36 million contract extension, which includes $17 million in fully guaranteed money, along with an $8 million signing bonus. Now, Rhamondre Stevenson was entering the last year of his contract, so he's going to be with the New England Patriots for quite some time. And once again, this is a very different philosophy from what we've seen under Bill Belichick as general manager, who, in my opinion, probably would have let Rhamondre Stevenson walk after the 1 year remaining on his contract, or he would have let the 1 year play out, reassessed, and then given him maybe another year or two. But that's not the way Elliott Wolf does things. We've seen him kind of re-sign all these foundational pieces to contract extensions, including Kyle Duggar, Michael Wenu, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, even Josh Uche got a 1 year prove-it type deal, and of course Anthony Jennings got a contract extension as well. But I think what makes this a little bit different from those foundational pieces I just mentioned is Rhamondre Stevenson is a running back. And in today's NFL, running backs are not as valuable as they once were. There are not a lot of Barry Sanders out there. And the running backs that are super valuable bring something else to the table. And really the only guy I can think of that brings something different to the table is a guy like Christian McCaffrey with the San Francisco 49ers, who we all know is a transcendent player. Yes, he's a running back, but he could essentially play every position on the field. It's part of what makes McCaffrey so great is he's such a good pass-catching back. He's a good power rusher. He's good in the wide zone. He can do anything that you ask of him. But now Rhamondre Stevenson, with this new contract, makes him the 7th highest paid running back in the entire NFL, behind, of course, Christian McCaffrey, who's getting $19 million in terms of average annual value, followed by Alvin Kamara, $15 million, Jonathan Taylor, $14 million, Saquon Barkley, about $12.5 million, and Joe Mixon, who's just shy of $10 million, so he's certainly a little bit less than that. Now, of course, a lot of this is non-guaranteed money, so Stevenson's going to have to prove that he can stay out there, he can contribute, and be the running back that the Patriots have relied on, at least in the first 3 years of his career. And look, Stevenson has been a good back the first 3 years of his career, has a total of 2,265 rushing yards, 14 touchdowns on the ground. He's also become a pretty good pass-catching back, at least the last couple of years, with 121 receptions, 782 yards, and 1 touchdown. However, he's only, at least as far as I can see, only had 1,000-yard-plus rushing season, which came in 2022, his best season, arguably, with the Patriots, 1,040 yards, 69 catches for 421 yards through the air. But, look, if you look back on Stevenson's stats, weeks 6 through 12 of last year, I'm pulling this from Taylor Kyles on X, according to Pro Football Focus, between weeks 6 and 12, Stevenson was 4th in the league in yards per rush, 8th in yards after contact, 2nd in yards after contact per attempt, tied for 4th in terms of conversions, and tied for 3rd in terms of conversion percentage. So, yeah, he's in the argument. If those stats in that 6-7 week period are consistent, yeah, he is a top 10, top 8 NFL running back. Question is, when he's entering his 4th year on this contract, is he going to be the same running back that he is now? Is he going to stack up a few 1,000-yard rushing seasons? I wouldn't be surprised if he did this year, but there's a reason running backs have short shelf lives in the NFL. I mean, they take a lot of hits. They have to get banged up every week, and you can really just kind of replace them with other running backs year after year because they have more dependencies than everyone else. Maybe not quite as much as the quarterback, but they are very dependent on the offensive line in front of them to get the rushing yards that they need. And that's going to be an issue here. And like I said, Bill Belichick would not have done this. Belichick would have let this 1 year contract play out, either let him walk or reassess and sign him for another year or two, because that's the way Belichick and many general managers, not just Belichick, approach the running back position. They know, look, we can find someone in the third or fourth round in the draft. Running backs are not a premium like they used to be. And as long as our offensive line is good, we're going to hit the ground running, quite literally, with whomever we put out there. And look, it worked out. They worked out with Sony Michel. Had a great year, ended up having a Super Bowl winning touchdown. And that's not the approach Elliott Wolf is taking. He wants a foundational running back that is there for years to come. And I'm not sure it's going to work out. I'm not sure I fully agree with this decision, because what is the Patriots' biggest red flag right now? It's their offensive line. I'm not even really worried that much about the receiving core, even if I want them to go after a Brandon Ayuk, get that number one stud wide receiver that they've been missing since Randy Moss. I'd like to see them do it, but they have a crowded receiving room right now with a lot of pretty good receivers. I think they have enough to field 5 or 6 good receivers on that roster heading into week 1. Not that concerned. Not that concerned about quarterback, because you got Jacoby Brissett, who's going to be a polished bridge, and eventually Drake May, who hopefully turns into a star. Got good tight ends, Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, Jaheim Bell, and it's really just that offensive line. And we don't know what's going to happen there. You know, they drafted Caden Wallace to play left tackle, moving him over from right tackle at Penn State. Doesn't seem to be working out with that so far, so they moved him back to right tackle, kicked Michael Wenu, who's supposed to be the right tackle, to right guard, and we're just hoping Chuks Okorafor works out at left tackle. Might not, because he was playing right tackle this past season. We still don't know the left guard situation. I like City So. I think it'll be him. I like Cole Strange, but I don't know if he'll ever be healthy again. Layden Robinson hasn't really made a splash since being drafted. I know it's been a few weeks. It's too early to tell. Really, the only guy you feel confident about is David Andrews at center. Who knows how many years he has left. And then Michael Wenu, who you don't even know if he's going to play right tackle, might end up being your right guard, because you can't convert Caden Wallace into a left tackle, so you got to put him at right tackle and kick Owenu back to his old position of right guard, even though he's being paid like a right tackle. So Rhamondre Stevenson could have a rough year, and if they don't figure this offensive line situation out, maybe they figure out left tackle next year. It seems like that's probably going to be the plan. If Caden Wallace doesn't work out and they can't convert him to left tackle, well, then you have another year where Rhamondre Stevenson is getting banged up, and is he going to be able to contribute a 1,000-yard season? I'm not so sure. Not to mention, the Patriots have changed their offense completely. Rhamondre Stevenson, all his experience has been the power run. Yes, he did a little bit with the West Coast wide zone scheme with Matt Patricia, but that didn't work out because Matt Patricia had no idea what he was doing. So now you have an offensive line that we don't know how it's going to work out. By far the biggest weakness on this team. The defense is good. They're pretty good at all the other positions, but the offensive line could be the reason they're a 4-win team once again. And now you're implementing this new West Coast style offense, which didn't work with Matt Patricia. Probably going to work better with Alex Van Pelt, because that's his experience. That's what he does as an offensive coordinator. He teaches quarterbacks. He implements a West Coast offense, and he has running backs that run this wide zone scheme. And not saying Rhamondre doesn't have some experience with wide zone. I guess he did it a little bit in college, did it a little bit a couple years ago, but it's going to be a lot different. He doesn't know the gap that he's going to be attacking every single play like they did running this Tom Brady, Josh McDaniels, Erhardt, Perkins style offense, which was basically the same under Bill O'Brien as well. Now he's going to have to find gaps himself behind an offensive line that in all likelihood is not going to be very great. And what happens if one or two of those guys goes down? What happens if they get injured? What happens if Michael Wenu, David Andrews have to miss the rest of the season? This happens every year with offensive linemen. Then Rhamondre Stevenson is really going to struggle. So the success of Stevenson in this contract 4 to 5 seasons down the road is really going to depend on how quickly the Patriots are able to get their offensive line situation together. And that's also going to affect Drake May and his development. You know, Mac Jones had a pretty good offensive line his rookie year. Almost won Rookie of the Year because of it. Slowly, that offensive line depleted, and we ended up with Mac Jones on the Jacksonville Jaguars being benched midway through the season before for Bailey Zappi, who's also not a great quarterback. So you're going to put Drake May in that situation. You're going to put Rhamondre Stevenson in that situation, running this wide zone scheme. I hope it works out. I really do. But you can't have an offense without an offensive line. You have to build an offense from the inside out. That's how you win in today's NFL. That's how you've always won in the NFL. And although I think Elliott Wolf has done a pretty damn good job this offseason, that really hasn't been his philosophy. He didn't throw a lot of money at a guy like Tyron Smith, who would have shored up the left side of that offensive line. I'm not sure he would have gone to the Patriots either way. He wanted to go to a contender. He went to the Jets, which, well, I guess you could consider them a contender, but they really didn't address it. They didn't address left tackle in the draft. They waited too long and said, all right, we'll convert Caden Wallace. That doesn't seem to be working out, at least as far as we've seen. We'll get stronger indications of that once training camp comes around, but I don't know. I would have opted personally to let Stevenson walk or extend him for 1 or 2 years and then found a running back somewhere else. And that's the thing. Like I said, running backs are not a premium like they used to be. Teams don't really address the running back unless, you got a Bijan Robinson or someone that is really transcendent that you can draft in the first round. They'll wait until the 4th or 5th round, and even then, there's a lot of good running backs available that are undrafted that you can get, or you can get in free agency year after year because you don't have to spend a lot of money on them. Highest paid running back is Christian McCaffrey at $19 million a year. In all likelihood, you can get a pretty damn good running back for less than $10 million. They're paying Rhamondre a little less than that. I don't know. But let me know if you disagree in the comments below. If you think this is too long for a running back in today's NFL, which I do because they have short shelf lives and they're very replaceable. But let me know if you disagree. I like Rhamondre. Excited to see him stick around. Hopefully he can have a few more 1,000-yard seasons, but I'm curious to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, or subscribe if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll be back with more New England Patriots coverage here on Patscast as news breaks.
Can't take pressure, tightening up my laces. Stadium roaring, feel the rush on those faces. Every yard we grind, Patscast finds a way. Stevenson running wild, making plays all day. Lights crashing, helmets smash, got the fever. Breakthrough tackles like a wrecking ball believer. Patscast screaming out plays in the huddle. Rhamondre Stevenson won't get stuck in the muddle. Patscast whispers in the night. Rhamondre's contract shining bright. Running on till the final night. Patscast got our pants on flight. In the heart of the storm we rise. Through the gridiron with fire in our eyes. Patscast echoes through skies. Stevenson still no surprise. Contract inked, gonna make history. No defense can stop this mystery. Yard by yard, we chase the dream. Patscast predicting this team supreme. Patscast whispers in the night. Rhamondre's contract shining bright. Running hard till the final light. Patscast got our pants on flight. Contract inked, gonna make history. No defense can stop this mystery.